What's up, everybody?
Yo, what it is.
Welcome to the Tug of More.
Super glad that you're here. It's just a conversation between two friends.
That's right.
My name's Truston.
I'm Whitney.
So today we want to get into the idea that as you're pulled into more, you feel the tug towards something greater, people are going to be mad.
Yeah, I'm mad at you right now.
Why you mad, bro? What you mad at me for?
No, I'm just kidding.
People just get mad.
They get mad about everything and anything that they can.
Right now, how many people in the world are mad at me?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, man, it hurts my feelings.
No, but you know that you're doing something
any.
good if you're ruffling some feathers, because it means you're doing something. If you're doing nothing, you ain't making nobody mad because you ain't doing nothing. So can you make them mad for?
At our Matlock building, like there's these things in the road, you know, like you have 2 lanes and then 2 lanes and there's like a big grass divider in the middle. And so there's a company that always mows it. Well, so these guys used to bring their truck and like unload all their lawnmowers and tractors and stuff in our driveway. And every time they would do it, they're leaving like big globs of grass and mud and like running over our curbs and stuff. And so one day I go out there and tell them, like, real nice, I'm like in full pastor mode. Like, hey guys, man, you know, last week you were here and you left the grass stuff everywhere and you left a lot of mud. Can we really work on, man, if you guys could park over there next week, same place, same mess. So you know what they got? They didn't get nice pastor. They got thug life Truston. And I went out there and said, you better get your crap out of here. Right the junk now. Get it up out of here. You know what they said? Pastor shouldn't be, aren't you supposed to be a pastor? I said, yeah. And this is my parking lot.
Right.
Get up out of here.
Right.
And all those dudes were mean mugging me.
Yeah.
That day I was kind of in a bad mood and I wished one of them would have swung. But like.
Are you looking for
Yeah. But like the truth is, I have to guard what I'm leading.
Right.
Like if there's somebody literally coming in and jumping giant piles of mud in a parking lot on a consistent basis in the handicap spots, I have to be willing to make them a little mad to lead the thing that I'm leading.
Right. We say it every time we talk about it, but the tug of more, it is a fight.
It's a fight. And the person on the other side is what is.
Right. And they're going to be mad.
My brain just went so many directions. Like what's on the other side of the rope?
Oh, well,
it's what is.
No,
it's what currently you're living in.
Where you currently are and what you're having to deal with in order to get to more. And sometimes you just make people mad because you got to deal with them. Sometimes you got to deal with things that cause change that they don't like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just be trying to do something and accomplish something, and that just ticks them off. What?
Your sweater's all wrinkled.
Well, sometimes you're not supposed to say it. God, sometimes we record a podcast. Look, you just made me mad.
Now he's mad at me.
No, but I didn't know we were recording 2 today, so I had a sweatshirt from the box over there.
Box of sweatshirts. So if you'd like to buy the sweatshirt, maybe we shouldn't do that. There's weird people on the internet.
Yeah, that's weird. Don't say that.
People get mad for all kinds of reasons. We get people that... we get other pastors in our city, been mad.
Oh.
We got people that attend our church, been mad. We got people that work for us, that get mad.
Yeah.
We used to have a box truck that had a big banner on it.
Yep.
And we would park it around town.
Oh, yeah, that's
advertising the church. For years.
Forever.
For years. So then you know what another church in town did? Got a box truck.
Yep.
Put a banner on it. Started parking around town.
You know what another church did?
But this dude didn't have any relationship. He didn't have no favor. He didn't have any connections. And so because he did that, they told him he had to quit doing it.
Yeah.
Or he did it too long or parked in the middle of the street or something stupid.
I was going to say, he didn't follow the rules.
And so because they told him he couldn't do what he was trying to do, you know what? All of a sudden, a pastor in the city starts calling the city, complaining about me. He's mad at me that he got told no for doing something wrong.
Yep. No.
Mad.
No, it's true.
Why are you mad at me, bro?
No, it's true. People get mad because they get jealous. That's what you're talking about. People get mad because we have to deal with circumstances that have to do with them. People get mad because they want what you have. I got in a fight with a lady. We go to a pastor's conference every year. Look, now I'm all insecure.
Hey, it looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's just the arms.
Wrinkle is like I iron my jeans, bro. Like, a wrinkle is a thing I don't ever want to be. I'm sorry.
It's like...
You're so never seen me
I've never seen you in wrinkles. You do not look disheveled.
That's how I feel.
90% of the people are listening to us right now, and they won't even know.
No, they won't even know.
So if you are listening only, I want you to imagine Whitney wearing a crumpled paper bag right now.
Thank you very much. That's how I feel.
If they're watching YouTube, they're like, she looks fine.
Of Whitney in a paper bag is what I feel like. So
I'm sorry. Should we start over?
No,
Should we start a whole new podcast?
No.
Okay.
It's funnier.
I'll wrinkle here. I'll currently wrinkle my shirt.
It makes me upset for you. Now I'm mad at myself for making you feel bad.
Okay.
Anyway, so we go to a pastor's conference every year with our team, but not just our staff team, but like we take a whole bunch of volunteers.
We took like 75
there's like a local church and they do a great job. And so we go to expose everything. The one frustration I have that I wish I could solve is that there's no assigned seats. So we go and take all these people. And I really love that we get this dynamic with our team to go together.
To sit together.
And to be there together and to embrace it together. And so because of that, it's really a phenomenal thing that they do because they create a buzz and an energy and a vibe. But I'm just mad because
So we're all out in the lobby waiting for them to open the doors to get in.
All the time.
And every year.
I'm going to fight and get the seats. And we get them.
Whitney wants 75 people to sit together.
Name a time we haven't got them. We get them.
But it's because you and Rachel are posted up like linemen in front of the doors.
And one year, this lady got so mad.
From she
was mad at some other kids that were cutting that weren't even with our team, but she saw the intensity and the confidence of us.
She was probably mad that her mom was mean to her when she was like 7 or something.
Okay, that's another emotional health podcast that
Karen.
she can listen to. Karen?
She was Karen.
Okay, stop. And so the doors open. They're ready to let us in. She's frustrated by these two boys that are not with our group, but somehow she's associated them to us. And we start walking to get the seats, and I'm ready. I'm in my stance. I'm walking, and the lady grabs her, shoves the junk out of my back, shoves me. I tumble into the people in front of me. Rachel's like, "Did you just shove her?" She starts yelling.
Oh, Rachel's ready to fight some lady.
And we get in a fight, and the lady is mad.
At a pastor's conference.
Because I'm trying to get some seats for my people.
And I'm the guy who believes in women in ministry, and here I got two...
I didn't push anyone.
I got two thug life girls.
I didn't fight back either.
That lady got mad.
Yes.
Do you know why? Because you were trying to do something great.
Yeah.
Because you had this big group. She's there with not anybody or a couple people. People just get mad at us.
And chances are good she had seen us throughout the conference be a big, loud, fun group, and she was like, "Why do they get that? That's not what I want."
I had somebody I had taught on giving.
Oh,
which anytime you teach on giving, if you're a pastor, people start to get funny when you start talking about money.
Just delete your inbox. Don't even look at it.
And so this lady, man, she got so mad at me. She's kind of wealthy.
Yeah.
And so I talked about how if you give, the first place that you should give is the house that you're getting fed from.
Yeah.
Like the church that you're connected to. The storehouse. The Bible talks about it. This lady sends me the most scathing email about how I'm telling her that she's got a demon in her or something. I'm like, I didn't say none of that.
Right.
But just mad.
Yeah.
And so anytime you're tugging into more.
Right. We've had
somebody's going to be mad at you.
We've had people that no longer could make when we've make the jump from where we are to where we're going as an organization. We've had people on the team that just couldn't make that jump with us.
Yeah.
And so as graciously as we could, we have helped them make their transition off the team. But we've seen them at places.
That means they got fired.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did an episode about that. You fired.
Yeah.
We've seen them at conferences. We've seen them at Torchies. We've seen them around town, and they just mad at us still.
So mad. Yeah.
And we've had to learn that, what is the phrase? You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time.
Yeah.
And tugging into more means you got to be okay with the fact that they are going to be mad.
And so the reason we're telling these funny stories and the reason we're talking about it is because if you are terrified that someone's going to be mad at you, you will not be able to step into more.
You will not be. Not I might get there slower. Not, well, maybe this one will work, but maybe not this thing. No, you cannot.
And leaders spend so much time trying to pacifier, stick a soothing thing in a baby's mouth.
To soothe some other baby.
They spend their whole life plugging pacifiers into people's mouths instead of leading. Now, I do not want anyone mad at me. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to offend people. I don't want to make people sad.
No.
I don't want that at all.
No.
It's the opposite of my personality if you actually know me as a person. But sometimes what God's called you to,
right,
the more that he has for you has to go above someone getting their feelings ruffled.
Right. No, right.
And a lot of times the people that are mad at us, it's about their own issue, not what you're doing.
87% of the time.
Oh, that's a good, very specific percentage.
Well, I'm just saying,
but
we're
it's good.
human.
No, it's
so
high,
yes,
high.
I've screwed some things up for sure, and they should have been mad at me.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it has to do with their issue. And in my life, if someone is trying to mess up my home, if someone comes over and they're like flip over my couches and like turn on all my faucets and just make a mess everywhere, right? I'm gonna kick them out of my house, and I don't really care if they're mad or not.
No, bye,
it's
Felicia.
my house. I'm protecting it. I'm guarding it. Get out of here. But so often in our organizations and in the more that we have, sometimes just our friendships and our relationships, we allow people to flip over our couches and make a mess with our water because they're not. I didn't say they were robbing me.
Yeah.
I didn't say they were burning the house down. They're just causing some chaos.
Yeah.
And we aren't willing to let them be mad because we're so afraid. No. I know what God's called me to do. I know the more that I'm running into, and I'm not going to allow a little bit of frustration to influence and to allow their chaos. It's okay if they get mad. Let them get mad.
My mom and dad owned a small cleaning business for a lot of years.
Yeah.
They would clean homes and residences and things. And when I was probably like 20, my parents had talked to me about some struggles that they were having in the business.
Yeah.
And so I was praying for my mom and dad. I mean, they're paying for me to go to school.
Right.
Like they're my support
They're your providers
system,
and
So I'm praying for my mom and dad and for their business and trying to figure out what to do. And God gave me like a word or a physical picture for them. So I went to the store and I bought 2 things. And my dad's like a tough guy. And my mom is gentle and wants everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
And so I went to the store.
You are the absolute blend of the two of them.
Right. And so I buy a pair of pink fuzzy slippers and I buy a pair of size 13 black steel toe boots.
Right.
And so I go and I call a meeting with my mom and my dad.
Of course you did.
And I said, hey, Dad, the Lord's given me a word for you.
Yeah.
That for your business to step into more, you have to put these on. And I gave my dad the pink fuzzy slippers.
Right.
I said, Dad, you've got to start to be a little more gentle.
Yep.
You've got to start to be a little sweeter.
Right.
And I said, and Mom, you've got to be willing to get some people mad.
Yeah.
Back then, when I did this, there was a TV show called American Chopper, which is they made like motorcycles.
Yeah.
And like the dad is a guy named Paul Sr. and he was like always yelling at a big handlebar mustache.
Lots of bleeping.
Yelling.
Lots of bleeping.
And so I gave my mom these big like biker dude boots. And I was like, Mom, you need to lead this business. Like you're wearing size 13 steel toe boots.
Yeah.
You need to start stomping on some stuff.
Yeah.
And we have to look at ourselves and we have to have a realization that we're the leader.
Right.
And so since I did that, I've now done that illustration with a couple different people.
Multiple times, yeah.
Where like, I went and met with a guy who's a president of a giant organization, huge, recently, with the fear of really offending him. And I bought him a great big pair of black steel toe boots.
Yep.
And I said, hey, I believe that your organization is called to something great. I said, I have a prophetic gift for you.
Yeah.
Which if you're not a church person, that's just a weird word for God wants to tell you something.
Yeah.
And I gave him these steel toe boots and he looks at him and he starts crying. And he's like, I know, I'm just scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared to hurt somebody's feelings.
Right.
I'm scared they're going to be mad at me.
Yeah. No.
You got to put the boots on, man.
Yeah.
And like to tug into more, it's hard work.
It's hard. But the truth is, if we have the right heart and if we're really pursuing all the more that God has for us and we're really trying to be our best selves and we're doing it as delicately as we can without intentionally hurting and harming people, making them mad sometimes can actually be the best gift that we give them.
Yeah.
You know, I joked about some of our team that we've seen that is mad at us, but there are some people on our team that have transitioned off and we probably did make them mad in that season, but now full circle, they've come back and been like, thank you. Thank you for teaching me what you taught me. Thank you. Now look what I'm doing in my world, my business, my job, because I learned that lesson.
Yeah.
And just think the more that we hold people back from, because we're afraid to let them get out of their comfort zone. We're afraid they might get ruffled a little bit. That change, you said change a minute ago, that's a huge reason why people get mad.
Yeah, if we refuse to do it, then they can't step into what God has.
Right.
And so doing that tough thing that makes them mad might actually be the best thing for their life, for their calling, for their family, for their marriage.
No, another reason I think we don't want to make people mad is because we don't value ourselves above, like, at our correct value. Like, we don't have the confidence to really believe that what God's called us to is what he's called that we should be. We are the valuable ones who can step into more. And we're so afraid of hurting them that we actually second guess who we are, right?
Yeah.
I think so often that in the beginning, for years of my life, I was always trying to keep the peace, keep the peace. And I was afraid that people would get mad because I didn't want it to be chaotic. But I learned that there's a difference between being a peacekeeper and a peacemaker.
Come on.
That being a peacemaker was someone that it took conflict. Yeah. It took frustration. It took them being mad at me sometimes, but it brought peace and it brought structure and clarity and whatever you're doing in your life. Chaos is nothing thrives in chaos.
Yeah.
And if you want to step into more, you've got to find peace and resolution. But sometimes that means causing people to be frustrated. And so keeping the peace just makes us worn out. Mm-hmm. But making peace, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. We just talked about recently about doing hard things. It takes hard things, but it also takes hard words that sometimes hurt people's feelings or hard circumstances that cause people to be mad. And we just have to decide that those people we give over to God, that they're not our responsibility, and keeping them happy, that's not on us.
The goal of most war is to establish peace.
Right.
Like the reason that countries go to war is because one of them is trying to push for peace in a region.
Right.
And so sometimes we have to do battle so it can be peaceful.
Absolutely.
But if we live our lives, man, if we lead our businesses so terrified that someone's going to be upset or bent out of shape. I know people that won't sell things in entire regions because they have a friend over in that region.
Right.
Like, what? Well, I don't want to make them mad. I'm like, they're not, there's people over there that are going to want your product or want you to do more.
Right.
We have all of these funny stories of why we don't do things because what if they get mad? I'm not going to join the gym because what if my sibling feels judged because they look like me too?
Right.
I'm telling you, I hear it from people all the time.
No.
I don't want to talk to this person about it because really, when we lead like that, we're selfish.
Right.
Because we're more concerned about someone being upset with us than us bettering them.
Right. No. Right. Or the people around us or whatever it is. And we have to look at it and go, okay, do I really want more?
Yeah.
Do I really want more, or am I willing to settle? Because that's what will happen inevitably. When we're trying to keep peace, we don't have time to charge into more. We don't have time or energy to push and tug and to develop whatever it is that we're working on in our life because we're just spinning our wheels, literally keeping everyone around us happy.
Yeah.
We're worn out.
Yeah. Here at our Matlock building, for a lot of years, the back stage of the wall, like on our stage, the back wall was covered in these boards.
Yeah.
Like in these wooden.
Right.
It didn't look like this. This is like
nice,
but it was like pallet boards.
Refurbished. What was it called? Repurposed.
Repurposed wood.
Yeah, repurposed.
It was cool.
Wood. Yeah,
I think it looked great.
Yeah.
But
it was very Texas of us.
But we were doing 4 services.
Right.
And so very Texas of us. We didn't have like longhorns and like spurs and stuff.
No. We weren't cowboy church all the way.
We were doing 4 services and I was dying.
Yeah.
Preaching 4 times in a row on a Sunday morning. And so we knew we needed to get an LED wall.
Right.
Like a big
full size
mega TV screen.
Yeah.
20-foot TV screen.
People know what LED walls are.
Okay. And so I don't know. We just found out there's a bunch of people in Arkansas. What's up, Arkansas? I don't know if they got LED walls out there in Arkansas.
I don't know.
And so he's just saying no. He's saying no, they don't. And so we want this mega TV. And so to do that, we had to tear down the wood wall. And I'm telling you, people acted like I was tearing down Moses's tabernacle.
We ended up allowing people to take it home. Remember?
People mad.
They wanted it because God did something in that room with the wood wall on the wall.
I'm like, this is not a sanctuary. This is not the tabernacle. This is not the Holy of Holies. But as the leader, I had to be willing to make some people mad and make some change in the organization to go into this next step, to go into this new step. And you know what? Since we've made that transition, some people have left the church.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't leave the church because we took down the wood wall, but they left the church because now we don't feel small anymore.
Right.
They left the church because now we look fancy.
Right.
Because we have this high-tech, newfangled LED wall. Truston's trying to look like Bono up there,
right.
Whoever they. It's funny when people tell me I'm trying to look like somebody who is no longer even relevant. I'm like, yep. and so
that's actually not a compliment in any way.
And so people, they get mad.
Right.
And so what I have to be able to do is like weigh.
Right.
Is their anger worth me shifting my decision?
Well,
sometimes it is.
No, sometimes it is.
Sometimes there's people in my life that I love and I listen to, and they're mad, and I'm like, I'm wrong. So then I change. But sometimes you got to just make them mad.
Say. I've had to learn that the question I've had to ask myself when I know I'm going to frustrate someone is, who do I answer to?
Yeah.
Who do I answer to? Like in life, there's only a few people I answer to.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because of my faith, I answer to God.
Yeah.
Because of my job, also, I answer to God. In my job, I answer to you.
Yeah.
Most of the time. No, I always answer to you.
Unless you'd be wearing that wrinkly sweatshirt on the podcast.
Exactly. Then what am I doing? I answer to my husband.
Yep.
And I answer to my kids. Like I answer to my family.
Yeah.
These are the people in my life. Our team, I don't want to disappoint them, but I know I'm going to make them mad. Because I, as a leader,
leading into more.
Yeah, I have to sometimes make decisions that change things for them and make things uncomfortable for them. We recently made a giant shift in some things we've been doing, and our team had a choice to make: get mad and frustrated, and rightfully so if they were, because we were changing some things that were going to cause more work for them, or step up and say, "Hey, I want to go into more too," which thankfully that's what they all did. But these are it's a very small list of people that I answer to.
Yeah.
The people really in my circle, like you and Rachel, my friends, people that I love and trust, there is a very small group of people that I'm anxious or worried about if I'm going to make them mad. Everybody else, I have to determine, okay, put this on the scale, weigh it out and go, do I answer to them? Or do I know that who I answer to, I gotta bend this way first. Yeah. And it really helps because at the end of the night, I can lay my head down on my pillow and know that if they're mad at me, chances are good. It's what you said before. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about them, their unwillingness to change, their lack of maybe vision for where we're going. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, if I've made these people at least feel safe, I did my job.
Yeah.
And I can't beat myself up over it, because what happens is we beat ourselves up over the people that we've made mad. And there's nothing we can't control that.
Yeah. I think that what happens to a lot of people is that we don't want to make people mad because we actually have our trust in them. So like we had an issue here not too long ago where we had a guy get mad at a decision that we made.
Yeah.
And he kind of flexed on us.
Yeah. And it kind of hurt our feelings, and it kind of confused us. It kind of was a few things, because some of it he was right in, and some of it was confusing.
And in that moment where he's explaining to me why he's mad, now he's not like yelling, screaming,
no,
but he's
frustrated,
disappointed, angry, thinks we're not doing a good job. And in that moment, I have to like ask, okay, God, did you tell me that this was the right thing?
Right.
And am I more concerned about what this guy's ability to help me? This guy can help me.
Right.
Or am I trusting you? Do I trust him?
Right.
Or do I trust you?
Right.
And I've just learned I would much rather have man mad than be disobedient to God.
Yeah. No, it's true.
And if pastors or leaders can get over that, we can start to make some changes.
Absolutely.
So, I got to shift unless you got something.
No, I've got some other things that have nothing to do with this either.
So sometimes we have to have conversations with people, and I think we talked about this somewhere. People over us, people peer to us, people that we're leading.
Talked about it before.
But that we have to be willing to make them mad in all those different directions.
Yeah. No.
That like for us, sometimes we have to remove a volunteer.
Right.
You got a volunteer. They're not getting paid. They got a good old heart, but they're just doing a bad job. And so sometimes we have to remove a volunteer from a position.
Or redirect them to somewhere else.
Or redirect them, and they get kind of mad. And I get it.
Yeah.
But like, let's just make up an example.
Okay.
Well, what's the team?
So,
Usher team?
sure.
Is that a good one?
I was going to go t-shirt team since my sweatshirt was wrinkly. I'm just kidding.
Usher team.
Yes.
Let's say that we have a man who's leading the Usher team.
Yeah.
And he's doing a bad job.
Right.
He won't help people find their seats.
He won't pass the offering bucket.
He's like flipping people off. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just real extreme.
Well,
okay.
maybe not. Maybe not even that extreme.
Yeah.
Won't, the buckets aren't there to take up the offering. He's just not doing it good.
Right.
Now, I know that means we have to have a conversation with this
Right.
guy and say, hey man, you can no longer lead the Usher team.
Right.
He's probably going to be kind of mad about that.
Yeah.
But would I rather just our Usher team keep being trash, or would I rather make the guy a little bit mad?
I'm going to take it a step further.
Now, the guy who leads our Usher team watches the tug of war,
I know.
and you're doing a great job.
Yeah, Jason's the best.
I'm not coming at you.
No, but what's true also...
I'm not passive aggressive. I'm directly aggressive.
Yes, correct.
So you will not need to know what I'm thinking.
Directly,
I'm good with you.
Kindly, directly, aggressive.
Yeah.
No, but what's true in that is a couple of things. So the first one is what we can do, though. The truth is, in our organization and our structure, actually, Enrique would have a conversation with him.
For sure.
What we do as leaders, though, is we get so nervous that people are going to be mad that then you go and have the conversation with not Jason.
Yeah.
The guy not doing it. And so we have to look at what we're doing. And sometimes we're trying so hard to not make people mad that we go and handle everything in our organization or in our life because we're afraid that we can't trust somebody else to go and handle those things. So as you're saying that, I can just see it. I can see the people who are leading things that are like, yeah, that's why I'm the one that has to have all the meetings. No, you don't. You've got to trust and train the people around you to be able to handle things for you.
And if they won't, go make them mad.
Yeah, then go make them mad.
Go meet with them and tell them how
know who's the right people that you're supposed to make mad.
Yeah.
And who's the right people around you that also the reason why is because you don't have a relationship with that person. So you got to be aware of your surrounding of who you're making mad, the conversations you're having. And then you said, like, in your scenario, the guy's flipping people off and cussing or whatever. Sometimes with people, we have to look at their track record of who they are and recognize, like, that was how they were going to react, whether I did it this way or that way or that way.
Yeah.
We've had people before that when they blew up, you and I are both like, we knew they were going to blow up one day.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it was going to be over or how it was going to be. But
there are people right now at Living Church that I know someday they'll leave and be mad at me.
Yeah. Not because
I'm planning on doing something to tick them off,
but because
this is what they do. This is everyone that they've ever used to know is their enemy.
I was literally going to say this because you just said it to me. Is this what they're doing to me, or is this just who they are?
Yeah.
And if we can identify, this is just who they are, not what they're doing to me, it doesn't become so personal and it doesn't hurt so bad, and then we can keep stepping into more.
You have to have what we say is thick skin and a tender heart.
Yeah, for sure. And
we have to have thick skin, but a tender heart. But we get it backwards.
Right. We have to fight to not let it switch.
So many pastors have it backwards. They got a thick, callous heart, but then tender skin. They got little baby soft hands,
right?
But their heart is hard as a rock.
Right.
No.
So they smile.
Your hands need to be calloused,
right?
But your heart needs to be tender.
Yeah, they smile to everybody out in the lobby. Then they go home and they talk bad about everybody to their kids and to their spouse.
Yeah.
No. Keep your heart tender and just handle some junk. Do some hard things and be okay with the fact that not everybody's going to like you.
Yeah.
That is a hard.
Is there some psychology there?
What? Oh, yeah.
Like, okay.
Yes, sir.
Why are people afraid of people being mad at them? Because I see it. I see people, they lie so that people won't be mad, so people will like them and not be mad at them.
Yeah.
They say things like this to this person so that that person will like them, and they
yeah. So some people are tricky and manipulative, but most people are doing it based on just their life experience.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
That like someone somewhere they couldn't trust, they hurt them.
Yeah.
And so they what you just said.
It's not even intentional. I think that some people, they're so scared someone's going to be mad at them and then disown them.
Yeah. Cut them off.
Like if they've been abandoned or if they've been abused or manipulated or whatever, that there's this like,
Okay, let's
oh
talk about
no, I don't want this to happen to me again. So I'm going to do everything I can to keep everybody happy.
So the tug of war is us talking about how to navigate and step into more and the fight and all the things. But we also are vulnerable and share real things.
Yeah.
So we'll just talk about it. You and I had to decide a long time ago. What?
I'm like,
you're so nervous.
Well, no, because I know you're going to say, tell them that story. And I'm like, what story?
I don't know. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to tell, we're going to tell it together.
Yeah.
No, we had decided a long time ago, if we're going to do this thing, like really work this close together, we're going to have a rock in our shoe sometimes. This is a thing we say to each other. We're gonna get mad at each other. It's going to happen.
Yeah, the rock in the shoe is just like if you're on some runner was asked what was the hardest thing about the run across America, and he said the rock in my shoe.
Yeah, and so now you and I sometimes will say to each other, like, "Do you got a rock in your shoe?" Or the rock in my shoe. I got to tell you, like this is our like thing.
Like basically something bad's. We're mad. We're frustrated. We got a callus.
Right, but both of us in different ways have had abandonment in our life. And for a long season, we were like, yeah, because we were glad we were doing this together. We didn't want it to fall apart. And we didn't go.
I don't want to make Whitney mad because she might leave me.
Yeah, I don't want her to leave. I don't want him to leave.
Yeah.
And it was 100% psychology based in things in the past.
Yeah.
Not the same person in our life that left, but someone significant in our life that left and abandoned us. Therefore, we felt, and so we had to just stop. We're actually people in each other's life that I care what you like. I care how you make me feel, and I care how I make you feel. So we're gonna have a real conversation, but I'm gonna deal with the fact and say the words, "Hey, I've been abandoned before. I don't want that to happen. So now we're gonna speak the truth to each other, and we might make each other mad, but we're gonna have grace, and we're gonna have love, and all those things."
Yeah.
You have to be willing to do it if you want to tug anymore. I'm just saying that. I know that's a really deep thing, but it's like. Yeah, people probably think, well, they just never make each other mad. That is not true.
No, it's not true.
We disagree all the
makes
time.
me mad all the time.
No, but it's true. These people who recorded this podcast with us have been in the room when you and I have had tension in the room of things we just disagreed about.
It's because we're different people with different opinions, and we view things different, and our brains work at different speeds and
in different areas, right?
And if we walk through life tiptoeing, you're not going to get nowhere.
We're never going to get anything done.
Sometimes you got to just plant your foot
and just say, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And those people, the reason you and I can make strong decisions, and what's true is that though you lead the organization, you allow me to lead alongside you. And there are times when I make a decision or you make a decision. It's not only you or whatever, it's both of us. There's times that either one of us are kind of annoyed or not all the way yet on board with it. But we trust what we've built, and we trust that the other one is hearing from God to say, okay, I'm bugged by it, but then I'm going to move past it.
Okay.
And we have to be willing to do that as leaders go.
If there's somebody who's listening, who knows there's a situation, person, dynamic, whatever, that they need to deal with, what do they do?
They got to deal with it.
Do hard things.
Do hard things.
Our previous podcast. I'm saying if they have an usher leader, if they have an employee, if they have a family member, if they have somebody that they've been catering to, pacifying.
Determine
what do they do.
For us, I think it helps a lot ahead of time to determine my expectation of the conversation. Am I okay if they're frustrated? Am I okay if they get mad? Not because of my fear of them getting mad, but like, hey, if it ends not the way I hope, is this detrimental? That determines the pace in which we go. That determines the intensity of which we go. You said you're directly aggressive. However, you are not the same level of aggressive to a kind lady volunteer that you've just met versus, Enrique that you work with every day. Those are not the same level. So,
because I know him, I can be more direct, and he can be more direct with me.
Correct. And so that's important. And then build the list. We've talked about it before with conflict of like what needs to be talked about. What are the real things that need to be handled? And then understand and be prepared that they're going to get frustrated. Building the list for you and I has been game changer of keeping us on track in our emotions. We've had conflict meetings with others and with each other that we didn't all the way build, and that can get off. Aaron and I will get in a fight about nothing. And if we don't really know what we're fighting about, it can get really chaotic.
Straight on a highway to hell.
Yes.
But if you don't know what you're fighting about.
What are we fighting about? Nothing. Just intensity.
Sometimes.
Yes. But if we have that, we can go back to it and go, okay, I understand you're frustrated, but here's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's stay on track about what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
What else?
I was thinking we need to have Aaron and Rachel back.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while.
No, we
season
should.
2. We're now in season 2. We need to get them back.
Do it. They'll just talk about how we fight with them too much.
We are just so afraid to have anyone mad at us. But that's not possible, man.
No.
Like, name a hero in your life, people are mad at them.
Right.
You know how many people hate Michael Jordan?
Right.
Everyone who played basketball in the 90s. Like,
it's how I know if famous people have someone watching their Instagram and deleting comments, because if there are no negative comments on their posts, they definitely have someone deleting comments.
Yeah.
Because people only throw rocks up, is what you always say.
Yeah.
But it's true. People like to be mad at people that are above them because they're just jealous of what they haven't done.
What's Rachel say?
If the dogs are barking.
It's a Spanish saying that sounds way better in Spanish.
Yeah. If
the dogs are barking,
you're walking in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's like they're nipping at
which doesn't all the way make
No, but
sense.
it's like they're nipping.
But like if you're I'm like I don't know about the right direction, but you're headed in their direction. So yeah, if the dogs are barking, it's because you're going somewhere.
Maybe that's the translation. Because when you walk by a fence, the dogs bark.
Yeah, but how do you know you're going the right way? Anyways, if the dogs are barking, it's because you're moving.
Yeah.
And so if there's people mad, good job.
That's it. You're moving forward. Yeah. And so it's okay. Like, and I think that's just because you and I have made a lot of changes in the last 6 years from where our organization was to where it is today. We have made a lot of people mad.
But once you identify it and start having the conversation, you know how great it feels? You know how great it feels to not pretend anywhere?
Yes, right. No, correct.
Do you know how free I am?
Yeah.
That I don't have to pretend any place?
Right.
So, dude.
That now when we are in places where we have to, it varies.
Oh, I'm in a conversation with another leader right now where I have to really
just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And it's very
God, I want to beat my head against the wall.
Yeah.
But like once you can stop being afraid of people getting mad, because we trump it up in our brain way bigger than it probably is actually going to be. We think it's going to be cataclysmic and it's probably just going to be a conversation. Once we can stop being worried about them being mad, man, our life is so much easier.
So much easier. Well, because we're not walking around having conversations with people who aren't even having conversations with us. Yeah. We're just living the life in front of us, and that allows us so much freedom to run into more. And
if somebody's mad and they won't quit being mad,
then that's okay.
Then let them go.
No, right. That's literally what the Bible says.
Yeah.
To just go ahead and send them out and let them go. And that took us a while to get to. Because for a long time, we were trying to fix every relationship. You can't. But you've got to know who you are, what you're called to do, the direction your business, your organization, your family, your life is supposed to go in, and go into it unapologetically, only really stressing about those certain people in your life that you really feel like, these are the people I answer to, and I got to do it. We have to let it go. We have to let go the people that we've made mad and just be good. I think that's the piece I've found is we get afraid to make people mad, then we do make people mad, then we get bitter at the fact that we made them mad, and we actually don't let it go. We just hold on to it, and it makes everything worse.
Yeah.
What? No.
You know, like those old scales?
Yep.
Sometimes what I do when I have to make a decision I know is going to make somebody mad is I think about, well, how many people is this going to make happy?
Ooh, that's a good way.
You know?
No,
like,
true.
Okay.
Let's talk about that in relation to that LED wall and the wood wall.
Well,
go.
When we added our fourth service.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Four services? You know, here's who's going to make mad.
The volunteers stay longer?
Maybe some of the staff.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the staff spouses.
Right.
It might make them mad because they're more hours on a Sunday. Right. It's heavier. Maybe there's some volunteers. But you know who's going to make happy?
The people who
people who work in the morning on Sunday and can't come till 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what's going to make happy? People that get saved.
Yeah.
You know what's going to make happy? People that now have room to actually have a seat in the middle services.
And they don't have to sit in the overflow room.
And so when we can
outweigh the good
with the bad.
Right.
And then we realize, okay, it's going to make these people mad. How can I lead through that?
No, it's true.
Well, then I'm going to give everybody extra time off. I'm going to communicate with them why we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're going to give them a raise. We're going to buy them an ice cream cone. We're going to go and buy everybody a pair of sneakers. I don't, what can I do to mitigate? I know I'm going to make, as a leader, sometimes you have a bullet in the gun and you have to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
You have to shoot somebody.
No, right.
When we were packed doing 3 services, I had to shoot somebody. I either had to shoot the people who couldn't find a seat.
Not actually shooting people if you're just tuning in.
I had to shoot people who couldn't find a seat. They can't come.
Right.
Or I had to shoot the staff.
No, right.
And I hated it. But I had to just talk to the staff and say, hey guys, I have a bullet. We have a problem. We have a problem. Who do we shoot?
Well,
you know what our staff said because they're the best? I would cry right now. They said, Pastor, shoot us.
Yeah.
Let's add another service.
Yeah.
Let's do this
really
hard thing.
Right.
Let's do this really hard thing because it has a better purpose. And so we just have to weigh it out instead of get frozen in fear.
It's better purpose and what's the risk? Because some people spend their life spinning around in circles trying to make everyone happy because what's the risk? Like, what are you so afraid of? Yeah. And you had to determine, okay, the reward is higher than the risk. And in fact, the risk is not that bad. Because the worst thing was we would lose one staff member that just was like, I don't want to do this. I'm mad. I'm out. But the risk is, okay, well, just someone else will come and they'll carry the vision, like in that scenario. And we got to look at the risk and go, is it really that bad? Am I about to lose my family? No. Yeah. Am I about to lose my purpose and my calling? No, I'm actually going to be free to step into more. Yeah. Calm down at our insecurity and fear of other people and just say, no, this is right. This is best.
My mom told me a story about somebody in her life that she was really close to. And this person kind of held over her. Yeah. I'm going to be mad at you.
Correct.
Like, it wasn't abusive.
No.
But like, my mom felt like if I don't do it right, they're just going to be mad at me.
I had a friend just like that once.
And so my mom told me a story maybe a year or two ago about this relationship. And the person said something again. And my mom literally said to her, "Get thee behind me, Satan." Like, it's super aggressive. But my mom she's quoting Jesus.
Directly aggressive.
But she was saying, like, you know what? Be mad.
Yeah.
Like, fine. Right. I'm so sick of pacifying you.
Right.
What you're doing is literally hindering me from what God is telling me to do.
Right.
Get behind me, man.
Yeah.
Get off my rope.
Right.
Get off my tug team.
Right.
And so sometimes we have to weigh out, like, how long are we going to be in this dance? Because you know what people do? They dance their whole life, keeping 3 people happy. We keep these 3 people happy, but they never step into more. You know how many people Elon Musk has fired?
Right. Because we're in a fight, and if they're not willing to fight with us, you're just fighting me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to punch you in the nose and let you fall off the rope. Like, I can't. In this fight can't allow you, to pull me down. I gotta determine the reason you and I have navigated. Oh, it's okay if we make each other mad. It's because we're fighting this together. We're fighting life together. Yeah. Who's fighting with you and who's fighting against you? Pay attention and be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because that chances are good that friend was fighting her, not fighting with her.
Well, people get mad at us in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. No. Right.
Sometimes they get mad and say like hurtful things.
Yeah.
But sometimes they get mad and so they just stop talking.
Right. You're right.
I'm just going to punish you with my silence. I'm just going to get distance. I'm just going to go and spend a whole bunch of time with this other person instead of
weird stuff.
And as that starts to happen, we have to just identify, sorry, you're mad, bro.
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to do what God's called me to do.
Yeah. No, it's really, really good.
If you've got some stuff in your life that you're navigating, that you're trying to figure out, or if you've lived your life terrified to make people mad, maybe it's conversation time.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to build a list of the people that you've been pacifying and you need to just make a decision. I'm going to start pulling pacifiers.
Yeah.
Let the baby cry.
Or maybe
what happened? The baby has to wean itself?
Yeah.
Right. Soothe itself.
Learn how to self-soothe.
Listen, man, that baby's got to learn how to soothe itself.
Right.
We had to let Titus lay in the bed and just cry.
Oh, yeah.
Cry, then finally fell asleep.
Right.
But until we would teach him to self-soothe, Rachel was up, I was up, never sleeping.
Right.
And so some people, let them cry. Yeah.
And maybe there's just something you've been feeling called to or feeling like is your next right step, but you've just been afraid, what if someone gets mad? You don't have actually a person you've identified will get mad. You're just insecure and worried maybe someone will. Decide, like, isn't this thing worth more than the potential person that might do it? Just handle that.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
So good.
Really good.
Anything else?
No. Just don't be mad.
Hey, listen, as long as our next podcast, you got your sweatshirt ironed, I'm going to be feeling great.
I'll never not show up with boar shirts again.
Just kidding. And love you guys. Yeah. We want to hear from you. If you have any questions, would love to engage. You can reach out in a ton of different ways.
Yep.
What are some of the ways they can reach out?
You can DM us on Instagram or send us a message at our personal. I don't know. Look, you threw me off. Personal Instagrams. Tug of More. You can comment on the YouTube, like the ones who are watching my shirt be wrinkled online.
Just reach out, engage.
Yes,
we would love to hear what you want to learn,
right.
so we can be part of your tug team. Love you guys. See you next time.